Alrighty, got a lot of stuff going on in the shop right now. We just had a bunch of pickups. I got an A4 out, got an S4 out, got an A3 out, got an A4 out of the shop. So now I have my 3.2 A5, which I guys haven't introduced you guys on the YouTube channel. So let's go over this car just real quick. The Audi S4 V8 rear-wheel drive. Bought this 2009 A5 3.2 S-Line manual transmission car off of Facebook Marketplace. It looked good in the photos. Showed up, was not good. There is dents in the driver's side door. Wasn't the cleanest car in the world. The interior was pretty good for 150,000 miles. Ran like garbage, misfiring like crazy. Power steering didn't work. That was very interesting to test drive the car like around the parking lot, because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna buy this thing. Like, it's not worth the money. So dude had bought a truck. It was his daily driver before that. Clearly had been down dirt roads. It had race sand coilovers on it, slammed to the ground. Thing basically rode on bump stops. It was a project. And he's like, well, make me an offer. Made him an offer. He's like, sure, I don't want to drive it home. Here's the title. So me and Parker drove to AutoZone, put power steering fluid in it because there was none. I assumed there was a massive leak. The car has not leaked a single drop since I've owned it. Weirdness, you rear-wheel drive the car. So it is rear-wheel drive converted. ECS Tuning sent us another rear-wheel drive kit because this had a different part numbered center differential. So we got the same kit that's in the S4 race car is in this car, and it works perfectly fine. We put 3,000 miles on it. End up just putting plugs and coils in it, fix the misfire. I still have it probably in a clogged injector or something that's not right. I get a misfire every once in a while. But anyways, just pretty much daily driver. AC works, heated seats. It's a freaking blast to drive. And it's awesome to just have a straight car. Nickname is German conversion of spare parts. So I just nicknamed it Easy. So this is the Easy car. We're gonna throw all the spare parts that I have from the race car, leftover parts. I did put the 034 upgraded rotors and EBC pads on it. I swapped those from the race car because I put that brake setup on the race car. I was trying to see a weight difference and going to smaller rotor. That way I can go to different size wheels and tires. Plus, those are wicked expensive rotors and they're very, very good and they stop the car excellent. But moving this car to more of a competition car, my fear is like I'm gonna hit something and break a rotor and I can't afford to repair it. Off the shelf, basic A5 brakes onto the race car, and then obviously EBC pads front and rear, EBC rotors front and rear, so I make EBC happy, and we'll have plenty of stopping power. I've already tested the car quite a bit with the brakes and they work awesome. The single solid rotor in the back is great for the handbrake. S3, longtime customer in the shop. We're gonna be wrapping up water pump carbon cleaning for him, and then we're back on the race car. So, update on the race car. Last you guys probably saw, I was LS swapping it. I lost a lot of motivation being at the last shop that I was at. Hustling, grinding, dealing with the stress and drama at the shop, and then seeing my race car, it was all combining into one. So when I moved the car to my house, I told myself, all right, you need to just get this car back together. Parker's obviously a huge influence when it comes to basically 3-liter swap the world or 3-liter the world. So we made the decision we were just gonna put the 3-liter back in the car. Big SoCal Euro reached out, said, hey man, are you gonna be doing a demo for us again this year? Obviously I love the Big SoCal Euro event. I love the people and community there. So I wanted to get the car back together for them. This car had just popped up. So I was going back and forth with Big SoCal on which one to bring. Last minute, we just decided, screw it. 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and we'll bring both cars out. So that was a blast. Wasn't without issues. We vapor locked the fuel system going out for the first demo event. Guys thrashed on the car, accidentally put methanol, water methanol in the tank versus fuel. So then we had to flush the whole tank, the whole system, bleed out the air. Got the car back up and running, did a demo. It was freaking rad. But the car went into limp mode and I had a 5,000 rev limit, sorry, 4,000 rev limit. So that sucked. The car sounded horrible on the 4K fuel cut. It just buh, 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 buh. Sucked. Just put it in third gear, and with the GT Radial 295s that are on the car, FD spec tires, it annihilated the tires, and even with being half of power band, the car performed excellent. So coolant temps were good, motor was happy, everything was good except for limp mode. Where we're at now, got all the communication issues and everything fixed. CAN system is back up and running. I got no faults for communication. Just goes into limp mode because of an oil pressure switch. Determined. Brad, huge shout out to Brad at German Elite Tuning. If you guys didn't know, Brad is actually an Audi Volkswagen tech, Volkswagen specific. So he, through the multitude of friends and connections and stuff that he has, he was able to get me the factory wiring diagrams, factory diagnostic steps, all of that good stuff. We came down to basically the signal is getting from the sensor is operating, we can ground command the sensor. It goes through the body control module on the B8, potentially through the instrument cluster, because both of those will see that the oil pressure switch is activating for high oil pressure, but the ECU is never seeing it. Came to the determination, the car's broken. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm tired of messing with stock ECU. So I'm in a dilemma now. I have been, for the last few days, week, trying to determine what I want to do with the old hot rod. 3-liter is a great motor, makes 500 plus horsepower, no problem. There's a ton of bolt-on solutions and parts. 034 has been updating tunes, doing obviously the camshafts, Merc Racing blower. 034 is not as much of a sponsor on the car recently, which kind of sucks, but I also get it. I'm doing something that's wild and crazy and nobody else is probably gonna do. So I don't feel like I have a ton of support when it comes to the 3-liter being back in the car. And where I'm running into right now, obviously with stock ECU, I gotta go to standalone. Huge potential on these cars. We can go to port injection full standalone. We can go port injection on top of the DI. Link ECU has the capabilities of 12 injector outputs and DI and port capable. Spending that type of money on the motor and not having a ton of support, and there's not a lot of knowledge when it comes to making big horsepower and stuff out of these motors. I'll be frank, man, starting my own shop and you know, overhead and just worriness of funds and that, the last thing I want to do is potentially make a really cool 3-liter that potentially just sits like the car has been doing for the last year or so. I've made the hard decision yet again. We're going to be LS swapping this car. We were working with Fabot Engineering. We were on their cyber clutch. We're going to run all of their adapters for the AR5. I'm going to, which you guys will see in this video, hopefully. Maybe the next video, because I kind of made this one long, you know. God darn it. Long videos. Picking up an LS. I don't know where we're going to get quite yet. So my dad's race project, which will be in the next episode, he got an S10. Single turbo LS, same motor out of the old truck, so I'm gonna put the transmission in it tomorrow. So my dad has a bunch of spare parts, so we're gonna kind of utilize those spare parts. He's gonna be my sponsor for this build. I already have bought a bunch of parts for the LS swap, so I have head studs, I have gasket sets, I have camshaft, I have all the Fabot parts sitting on the shelf. I'd like an aluminum block. Obviously that's the ultimate goal. Aluminum block and standalone quad 4150 setup would be like my go-to motor, what I really want. But right now we're just gonna get a 5.3 iron block. We're gonna go through it, check rings, probably put new rings in it, put new bearings in it, probably not replace any parts other than what we see is broken or bad. We have a local guy that has been doing a lot of machine work for us. We'll probably fluff the heads. I'm probably just gonna run a stock truck style intake. Right now we have a spare harness and an ECU, and I have an HP tuner account for like 100 shot of nitrous if we need it. Put on the dyno, document everything, all of that good stuff. Get the car up and running, get it to some events, shake down the rest of the car. We got new yellow speed coilovers to go on the car. We got a lot of stuff to still test chassis-wise and engine-wise. That should just be plug and play. Like, we should be able to just fire up the LS, make sure it makes oil pressure, make sure it's got you know, no coolant leaks, and beat the crap out of it. The goal is to make 500 horsepower on nitrous. Very easy to make that amount of horsepower. My thought is because this car has got to be making like high 400s wheel when it's not in limp mode, the future of the program. My biggest issue is I think 10 steps ahead, and I act on those 10 steps ahead. I don't act on where I'm at right now, and that's kind of where this LS keeps getting brought up. I really only have funds to run one car, and going into a competition or going into a full season, a lot of stuff's going to go on credit cards. A lot of stuff's just going to have to be kind of, you know, financed out of my pocket. It's a little scary running the Audi motors and stuff, not having a bunch of backing. If I break stuff or be able to get replacement parts, it falls all on my shoulder. That expense on top of fuel, tires, you know, hotels, everything else that it takes to run a race car and run a race program. So I really need to kind of save money where I can, and the LS motor, extremely reliable. You know, Travis Reeder this year being on his FD team and running that car, I mean, we had 0 mechanical failures when it came to the motor. That's a 430 cubic inch motor making probably close to 1,000 horsepower on nitrous. What about Project Easy? All spare parts, right? The 3.2 in the A5 is running pretty good. It's got 150,000 miles on it. Might as well beat the crap out of it. Not try to blow it up, but if it blows up, no big deal. We got a 3-liter in the corner. MSR works, Mulletsport Racing. We specialize in Audis. I love these cars. It's awesome, but I also love motorsports. So we're gonna kind of blend the two. Just in the drift car, it's gonna go to a cookie cutter LS. Those side pipes on that car right now to freaking crackle with a high compression, big old cam V8. That would really, oh, my hair's standing up on my arms. I'm getting goosebumps. This is the update for today, this week in the shop. Catch you back on the next episode.